Well, everybody, welcome back to the Vlogpastors podcast. We are here. We are live. It is episode 13. Jarrod and I in the house.
Web of Lies. It's like it's 15, isn't it?
What did I
we
say?
Do 14? Didn't we do 14 last week?
Did I say 13?
I think you said 13.
Oh, it's 15. You're right.
Is it 15? Yes. Yeah. Hold on. Slow mo. You're right, Jarrod.
Right.
Awesome. I
Yes.
finally got it right.
You are right. And I don't know what we're discussing and what we're talking about, but I have a feeling we're going to be getting in on this really quick and really fast, and it's going to be fun. So I say we roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll it.
Welcome to the Vlogpastors podcast, a podcast all about the stories and strategies of sharing God's love in the digital world. Now, here are two pastors that love to put a camera in their face and walk around in public. They are the Scooby and Shaggy of digital ministry, Jarrod Brown and Joshua Verwers.
That's right, Scooby and Shaggy for the Vlogpastors podcast here. My name is Joshua Verwers. This lovely gentleman is the one and only Jarrod Brown. And y'all are catching us live on YouTube for Vlogpastors podcast, episode number 15. I like when I get a second take on it. Just before we went live, I said episode 13, and Jarrod had to correct me, and I am officially stating for the record, I was wrong. Jarrod was right.
I'm going to play that over and over and over again. Thank you, Camtasia.
Yes, we have that on record. It is official. We got some people hopping in on the chat, which, by the way, if you guys are just listening to the replay of this online, or if you are watching the replay on YouTube, you can actually join us live Thursday mornings at around 10:30, 11 o'clock, we go live. So make sure you're heading over to my channel at youtube.com/Joshua Verwers. Click and subscribe, clicking the bell and turning on all notifications. So that way when we actually decide to go live, you're notified and you can then hop in the chat with people like Dustin that is saying, Happy Gentleman Thursday. Or happy Thursday, gentlemen. What is wrong with my tongue today? It is just off.
I can't wait.
Bite of Brownies saying, happy Thursday. That would be you, Jarrod. You're in the chats as well.
Oh, yeah, man.
Henry sitting here as well, joining us, saying, what's going on, boys? Have you seen wrestling lately?
Now,
Wow.
get careful here. Here's where it goes off the cliff. Apparently, the live audience wants to talk about wrestling.
Apparently they do. And then we've got Joshua Putnam. Am I saying that right? Putnam? I'm going to go with Putnam. I like the way that sounds. And hopefully that's correct. And hopefully it's not offensive by me saying that. He is saying happy Thursday as well. So, Jarrod, I think today what we're going to be talking about primarily, we might have to get into a little bit of wrestling because of some of it. Oh, by the way, I guess it looks like
May not be
Eliana.
time.
Look at this. Eliana is saying hi. Hello, Eliana. And the twins say hi as well. Girls, good to see you. So we got lots of highs in here. And Joshua did say, I got it right. It's Putnam. There we go. I like it. So we may have time to talk wrestling, and if we do, we will. Also, for those that are in the chat live with us, if you have some questions that you want us to get to, some topics you want us to discuss, make sure you let us know. Just type them in. We're streaming only to YouTube today, and I decided I didn't want to do multi-streaming anymore because the multi-streaming, what it was causing was a huge delay. Like a huge delay in... Okay, I say huge.
What's a huge delay?
A huge delay for me is 10 seconds.
That's a pretty good delay.
So it was a huge delay. Essentially what I have to do is I have to take the video source from my computer, send it out onto the interwebs to this platform called Restream. Restream then takes it, and they do all of their nifty stuff, and they disperse it to others.
What a day and age we live in, man.
I mean,
all from the privacy of your own little bedroom studio thing, just
right.
Satellites linking up in space and restreaming stuff.
It's cool if we can do it. But the other problem that I noticed, I was looking at the video files that I got back from Restream, like after it was downloaded, like looking at YouTube and checking the quality.
Not too good?
No. I understand how they're able to push it out so hard. They're doing some crazy processing on that, and there's a big degradation in quality. And it was like, nope. Ain't going to happen anymore. You see this stuff? You see the way we roll on this channel, on this podcast?
Look at this.
We
quality.
have quality.
Quality.
We love our quality. And because of that, YouTube does it best. So YouTube, they get my services. So that's what we're doing.
That's fair, man.
We're going
That's fair. If you're
straight
gonna
to
do
YouTube.
top shelf stuff, then we'll go with the top tier video platform.
Well, and I'm considering one of these days here soon, I'm honestly considering just trying out streaming in 4K and see what it looks like. Why? Because I think I've got all of the equipment and processing power to do it, and I mean, why not flex? So it's like, if you can do it, you can do it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But anyways, so we're going straight to YouTube today. I was streaming and simultaneously to like Twitter over on Periscope. I was doing Facebook as well, and I want to say something else, but I can't even remember what it was now. Apparently, it was that important. Maybe it was just 2 different places on Facebook. Whatever. Anyways, I hope you came over from the other platforms, and if you did, say, hey, your post pulled me from Facebook or pulled me from Twitter, and now I'm here on YouTube, and then I'll give you a big thumbs up.
I'm so surprised. Like, as soon as you hit live, there's like 4 or 5 people in here hanging out. That blows my mind. What are you guys doing? It's 10:30. What 11?
We're consistent. Jarrod, think about this. It's consistent content. If there are TV shows that we like watching and we know that it's coming on a certain day and time,
oh, that's so right.
We're ready for it. And I think people know, like Diana saying Guten Morgen, that all of a sudden we are
Hey, there's
live.
no cursing on this channel.
I have no idea what that means.
Unless I'm doing the cursing.
So no, Diana saying good morning. It's good to have Diana in here as well. But this is it's the platform. It's the day and age. Joshua Putnam saying he's trying to study for Sunday. So, what better time?
This right here.
You listen to us ramble about all sorts of nonsense, and maybe something, maybe a spark flies. I mean, it's like that butterfly effect. Watching the Vlogpastors podcast, and all of a sudden you get inspiration from the Book of Amos. I don't know. We're going off the rails, Jarrod. Okay, so anyways, for you guys that are in the chats joining us, if you have questions, if you have topics you want us to discuss, we will do our best. I'm going to make sure that it is a topic and discussion that I don't just monologue about, that Jarrod is able to add something to, which
unlike
means wrestling, you might kind of be out a little bit on this.
I'm sorry, guys.
But for those that are wanting wrestling, some wrestling talk, and preferably some Christian faith-based wrestling talk, that isn't going to have tons of profanity on the channel, things like that. I will say that part of this studio remodel is in preparation for a channel that we are hoping to launch in the next 2 weeks. You guys will find out about it, but it's going to be my son Logan and I that are doing this, and we're gonna be launching it. So actually, I think it's either today or tomorrow we're gonna start recording some videos that he's gonna be editing, and we're going to be doing some live. So some of it will be. Yeah.
What a skill to pass on to your son, man. That's what every young man or woman that I talk to these days. Hey, what do you want to do with your life? I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be I want to be an influencer. Okay, well, fantastic. How do you plan on going about doing that? You got got any editing skills? Got any background in photography, videography? No, just gonna be one. Okay, sure, cool.
Well, and my daughter Micah. So she's been interested in photography, and I still have my old Canon EOS M with my 22mm lens on it. Ooh, I was like, hey.
Almost vintage now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like the original Canon mirrorless, So it was like
little soiree / debacle into mirrorless. Yeah,
Right.
I remember.
So
Wow.
I was like, hey, you want to try this? And she's been running around with it, apparently running out memory cards too. But
Cool.
she's got a pretty good eye for things and been doing some pretty cool photos. I actually have one photo that, while she didn't herself take it, she framed and concept the shot. And because there's not a selfie screen, she couldn't line herself up really well. So she did use her sister Reagan to help out with that. But it's actually on my Instagram, and you'll see it's her basically dressed up as me, mocking me.
Can you imagine like what their videos are going to look like in just a few short years? Whenever they start making things, we're going to look so archaic.
You're right.
You know, with our
Right.
banners and our borders and stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah, just watch this. Our ceiling, their floor.
Yeah, yeah. Logan is saying he's partially looking forward to this wrestling channel that we got going on. Dustin is saying partially, but before that, and he's wanting to know, Logan, what's the other part? Before we get to that, Andy McMillan is here, and I love this question. Why is Jarrod not rocking an actual beard?
Oh,
And then the
all
follow-up.
right.
Wait,
How do you delete Andy from life? Where is he?
the follow-up question.
Andy McMillan.
The follow-up question, is he afraid of what a real beard would bring to his life?
Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. This is all I got. This is all 3 hairs pumping. Boop, right there. This took many, many moons to grow. Has to be meticulously maintained. Otherwise, it'll get away.
I love it. And Andy, if I remember correctly,
Andy, you're on my list, man. Let's see.
I
You just got
believe-
up on the radar.
Hey, Andy, I'm pretty sure you're one of Jason Mayfield's friends. If I remember right, that's where we connected and how we heard. Which, if that's the case, and my memory is correct, then yes, then yeah, I'm correct. Oh, and apparently Matt Gutierrez, Andy, he's 100% with. So there it is. It's
get
the
into
Jason
conversation before we start.
the Jason Mayfield crew coming in and pouncing on Jarrod
So
today.
glad to have everyone here. Thank you all for stopping by and picking on the host for today. Here's me control to block some people.
I love it. I love it. But yeah. Hey, on a technical side, if I can just be technical about it, what would constitute a beard? Would a beard not be chin, mustache, and sideburns that all connect? And if that's the case, Jarrod's
good to be
mostly
here.
got it.
Good to be here, Joshua. Thank you for having me today.
I mean, really,
Provide quality content for
I-
people who have hopped on to talk about my beard.
I would consider what you have to be a beard. I mean, just let's rotate to the left a little bit, and then to the right just a hair.
Hang on. Do you hear the angels singing?
See,
Look at that thing.
I see coverage. I see coverage. I see
Right.
connection.
I see power.
I see
I
coverage.
see a
I see
bad
connection,
dunya.
and I see somebody flipping on lights in the bathroom in my hall.
Hey, welcome to the whole joint workspace
Welcome.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, I could have shut the door, but I just didn't want to. That's just the
You're
way
gonna
I
hear
roll.
my wife chiming in from time to time. I was like, "Babe, you got to be quiet, otherwise you're gonna be part of the show." Just She's like,
Not to mention. So Dustin is saying, as far as your beard goes, it kind of looks like him when he tries to grow his hair out, and he's talking on the top of his head. And I would say that is an inaccurate assessment. I think Jarrod is able to grow more hair on his face than Dustin is on top of his head.
all right, gentlemen, let's rein it in.
But Diana did hear the angels singing, by the way.
Thank you, Diana.
And Goody says that almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Fair enough.
So,
Your statement.
that's what we got going on here. Okay, hey, first let's kind of talk a little bit on. Let's get to XFL and wrestling, because I think those are two things they want to talk about. Let's just jump into those real quick, if we can. So Dustin said he wants to talk about wrestling. He said, Let's see. Oh, yeah. So you had asked, Jared, do you think you can throw Joshua off his game today? He says, I can try. We need to talk about May 8th, 2021. And then he says, wrestling talk today, ? Woohoo. So what he is referring to in the wrestling talk is the promotion back in the day that I used to work for here in Iowa and wrestle for. If you guys didn't know, yes, I spent about 8 years of my life moonlighting in spandex and grappling with other men who were sweaty.
Interesting descriptor. It's almost like that Facebook thing where it's like, describe your job poorly.
Yeah, that is my poor way of describing being an independent professional wrestler. So that is what I did. And the primary promotion I worked for here in Iowa was called Impact Pro Wrestling. And they have next year, May 8th, 2021, they are doing their 20th anniversary of the first show they've done. And
Guess where I'm going to be.
Reached out and they've said, hey, would you be interested in coming back for the show? I don't know in what capacity. What I do know is I have 9 months to try to get in ring shape and hopefully actually put on some shoulders. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, which will be fun if when Logan and I have the wrestling channel, because hey, then we get some good vlog content out of that as well. So that's kind of the goal. That's what Dustin is talking about, because I believe he is going to be making his way back from South Carolina to jump in the old squared circle as well.
Do you guys know who you're going to be wrestling against this far out?
No clue.
Maybe each other?
No clue. Possibly. I have no idea.
But maybe each other, right?
It's possible. It is possible. I think the last time I jumped in was a few years ago, and it wasn't the Impact Pro Wrestling's 20th anniversary, but it was our trainer. It was his 20th anniversary from the first show that he ran, and I went back for that, had a match, and it was me and...
Remind me again, what was your name? What was your shtick?
You know what this is going to do? This is going to lead people to start YouTube searching again.
Maybe they need to see it. Maybe they don't.
Okay,
it does live on YouTube.
the thing is my name back then, it was... So I don't think I had any technical difficulties in audio quality there. I think everything was working smooth, right?
Didn't drop off a bit there, Chance. Good. We're good.
So, anyways, I went back for this, and it was me and my oldest brother and my old tag team partner, which we were known collectively in various variations. There were 3 of us. We had 2 here, 2 here, 2 here type of a deal. And we were known as the Second Coming, which was always fun when you get those little old religious ladies that would show up and start yelling and screaming at me because I thought I was Jesus Christ.
Oh, they're just having fun. That's part of wrestling.
Which was, I mean, I just, of course, played into it, and I was like, hey, lady, if the wrestling boot fits. It was just like... So, no, one of them actually got, like, literally, she was upset. Like, mad and upset. So I had to explain the whole idea behind it. It's like, no, I'm not saying I'm Jesus, but what I'm saying is Jesus' second coming to the world, and what that means... That's what we mean to the world of professional wrestling. We're the next best thing that ever came to tag team wrestling, which she still didn't get and agree with. But that being said, I didn't know what I was doing. That day it was supposed to be just a battle royal. And my idea of a battle royal is I slide in the bottom rope and somebody grabs me by the hair and throws me over the top rope, and I'm out in 3 seconds. Easy payday. That's my idea.
No cardio required.
No cardio required. I've already exerted all energy by running to the ring. So that was my goal, but when I got there, plans changed, and they're like, hey, would you be up for a 6-man tag match? So come May 8th, 2021, I have no idea what's going on. I am pretty sure I will be in the ring competing in some capacity. And my goal is to try to be in better shape than I was a couple years ago. We'll see how that goes. So that's what we've got as far as the wrestling side of things that I think Dustin was talking about. And you guys know, I mean, you should know here on this channel, you look back up here on, the shelf, I'm a big pro wrestling fan. And because of that, I enjoy wrestling. I enjoy watching wrestling, which is kind of one of the big reasons Logan and I are going to jump in and do this wrestling channel. Because we enjoy it, and I've tried watching a bunch of other wrestling commentary channels, and I just get sick and tired of the excessive, unnecessary profanity. And so I figured, hey, we're going to do this, but we're going to do it from a better perspective. And while I do know there are Christian YouTubers out there that are doing wrestling channels, it's not to compete or take away from anything. I've also found, like, here in this YouTube space, I come in, I bring a different energy, I bring a different quality, a different way of doing things. And if anything, it doesn't hurt the others. It helps them, because it's that competition that kind of helps lift everybody else up. And so that's the thing I'm looking forward to, hopefully being able to contribute to that small niche community. So we've got that. Now,
what's the date again?
May 8th, 2021, I believe is what it is. Mark it on your calendars. May 8th, 2021, Des Moines, Iowa. You can come visit and see me in spandex.
Maybe not that part, but
there's the deterrent.
I won't see you wrestle.
Yeah, I'll be wrestling at some ability. I have no idea. Dustin did say he's thinking he's just going to do color commentating, which is the worst decision anybody could ever have. Dustin had the best promo in the business when he looked at his opponent in the ring and he says, "Hey, talk to me when I'm talking to you." So,
oh my goodness.
All right, now Dustin. Okay, so Matt wanting to talk wrestling. Yes,
you guys brought this on. I'm just saying.
Matt wanted to talk wrestling. Goody, you wanted to talk wrestling. There was a little bit of the wrestling. There will be more over on the future YouTube channel that's coming here in a couple weeks. You'll be able to check lots of stuff. We're going to be doing lives. We're going to have lots of commentary on that stuff. So that will be fun. And I'll make sure here on this channel that you guys know when and where to find all of that. Dustin also wondering about XFL. Did you hear about that, Jared?
No, not at all.
So do you know what the XFL is?
Yes.
Okay. For those that don't know what the XFL is, the XFL is the X Football League.
B team.
We don't know what the X stands for. It's
JV.
Yeah, it's essentially somewhere between it's like an American version of the Canadian Football League, kind of. It's essentially a feeder league type to the NFL. It's those guys that couldn't make the main roster, or not necessarily couldn't, but didn't. And I think XFL has said they've basically got they say they have the top 500 NFL players or top 500 football players not in the NFL, which this season going into the NFL, I think there was, a dozen, 2 dozen of the XFL players that did get picked up to NFL teams. And that was just from the few games that they were able to play before the pandemic and the shutdown hit. And so this was something that was started early 2000s by Vince McMahon. The new XFL looks completely different than what the old one did. You may not have ever seen the XFL, but if you've ever watched the NFL, you have seen the benefits of the XFL, because that over the football field shot of the camera, that was Vince McMahon's brainchild and what he brought to the original XFL, and then the NFL implemented it the following season. And then even this coming up season, the NFL is looking at different rules and kicking rules that they have then picked up from some of the things that the XFL did. And so that's the good thing about competition. You see a different way of doing things, and it sparks that creativity. And it's like, oh, I can take this and I can implement it in what we've got. So I love the idea of XFL, a viable secondary promotion that's out there to really kind of help the overall state of football. The problem was because of the pandemic and because of all the contracts they had, and then they couldn't play, they couldn't generate revenue. The XFL had to file for bankruptcy. This week they're supposed to have, I think tomorrow is the bankruptcy filing on it before the judge. But as of Monday, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, his ex-wife and business partner, I think Danny Garcia, and a venture firm, capital firm, they wound up purchasing the XFL for like $15 million. So the XFL will live on, which is really cool because if The Rock has a second or a third passion, I mean, obviously acting, and then beyond that, professional wrestling, and beyond that, it's football. I mean, he went to the University of Miami. I can't remember. I was thinking he was an NFL prospect. I don't know if he actually played in the NFL. I think he was drafted.
I don't remember that.
But, I mean, the guy... I mean, I saw some of the old college film from University of Miami, and, yeah, he could have played in the NFL easily. But probably wise for him to go the route he did because professional wrestling put him on the map, and now he is one of the wealthiest people in the world. So things kind of worked out. So that's the XFL. I'm excited for that just because it does give other options, other variety, other viabilities. Now, let's segue that into competition, other viabilities, other people, other entities, if you will. This is August. Vlogust has begun.
Oh,
and that means Vlogpastors Season 3 is underway. And I did not even check this morning, which I would have to apologize to Trey Van Camp. He is on the docket today for Vlogpastors Season 3. I'm wondering, did he upload? Do we know? Did you check?
I don't know.
I didn't check
I'm a day
yet.
behind. No, I think I'm a day behind.
I've been watching everybody. I said Trey, right?
Yeah, I missed Ken. Ken was yesterday.
Ken was yesterday.
Okay, I missed Ken's.
So Trey has not uploaded yet. So
Catch
Corona. So Trey has
It's like off little
Yeah.
temperature. You're all right.
yeah,
Walking up.
just a little bit of sweats. I mean, I'm good to go. No. So we are doing Vlogpastors Season 3, which for those that don't know what's happening with Vlogpastors Season 3, essentially, if you've been around the channel, you've seen Jarrod and I, the Vlogpastors. We have done 2.1 seasons of Vlogpastors. So we did Veda, April of last year, 2019, where we went back and forth asking each other questions. So each day we would each ask a question. And then the next day we would answer the question that the other asked, and then ask another question to be answered the following day.
Wasn't confusing at all.
Wasn't confusing at all. It was fun. We learned a lot.
Man.
We made some amazing videos in that month too. Some of my favorites came from that month. So that was fun.
Well, it was cool because you could not overthink it.
Yeah.
Because you had no time. You're making something constantly. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like the next question is already coming in. You need to be on it. You don't have time to stage anything, come up with all these fancy edits. It was just like creativity as you go.
Yeah. And then we had August. Describe what we did in August. How we did that method last
Which one was
August. That was
Was
season
August
2.
Was that 2 or 2.1?
That was 2.
Which was 2? See, this is where they all like run together. Was 2 the one where we kind of knew ahead of time, and we would ask and then answer, and the next person would ask and then answer?
Yes.
Or was that? Yeah. Okay. And that in itself was a little bit convoluted. You get a little distracted because if you missed a day, you had the potential in season 2 to have the question ahead of time, and if you were on it, you could make it, produce it, make it, and be done for a day.
Yeah.
But that, for me, in my brain, my scatterbrain, I just stuck with the original format from season 1
Right.
and went with it.
And it was helpful to me because we were like, it would be on a Monday. I would ask you a question for Tuesday, but that question we both had to answer on Tuesday. So then on Tuesday, you were answering one question in one video, asking what we would then answer on Wednesday. So then when I heard your video or your question on Tuesday, when that was dropped, I would record that question, that video, ask my next question for Wednesday, and then still on Tuesday, record my Wednesday answer. So that way, Wednesday, I actually had the day off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, personality types like Joshua had the day off.
yeah, yeah.
Personality types like me are like, what was the question? Oh
The
man,
the
I don't know. I don't have time.
Yeah.
Let's just
The
do it.
first week I couldn't do that. The first week it was business as usual from April. Second week I started to figure it out. By the third week I was good. Fourth week I was good as well. So it was a little bit easier, but I still noticed, like with you, there was still a little bit of that keeping track and trying to juggle it all.
I do better that way though. I mean,
Yeah.
I complain about it, but I like it a whole lot better. I don't like to do a whole lot of pre-planned, pre-scripted stuff where I'm
Right.
like, oh yeah, and I have to act a little bit. I like being slammed with a new idea and the
Yeah.
excitement and current that comes with it.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, Josh just asked me, so here we go.
Yeah,
Grab the
yeah.
camera and here we go.
And it works, and it worked well. The issue that, because you and I faced a lot of burnout with April and August of last year in doing that. I mean, we're talking daily vlogs for the month, and then trying to not only just do a normal daily vlog, because a daily vlog in and of itself is hard when you're just trying to find or document the day and then see if there's a little story to tell. That's hard enough.
Would not have done it without a partner in it.
Yeah.
And I think these guys are going to realize, well, we're only doing one a week,
yeah.
but there is a grind to it where I think I struggled the first season really hard. I think it's vice versa, and you were there for me. And then the second season, I think you were struggling a little bit towards like that 1 or 2 weeks. There was a little bubble where you're like, I'm done, I'm out.
That first week and a half was brutal for me. Yeah.
So we were able to be there for one another at key points where it's like, man, I cannot do this.
Yep.
Mine was like, I can't start this thing. This is overwhelming and a half. And yours was like, I don't want to do this again, man. I'm having flashbacks from the last time.
Right. And it was because I remember the first season we did back in April of last year, we weren't getting sleep. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about you. I wasn't getting sleep. No. I spent most of the month sitting in the computer chair while my wife was in bed sleeping, and it was like, can't do that again.
It would be going to bed at 2:33, and then waking up again at 8 to catch your video because you needed to get started. Not waking up, but catching your video at 8 and then going.
You were doing better than me because I had a few of those days where I was going to bed just to pull up the phone and see your video because I didn't make it to bed at all. And it was like I'm uploading a couple of those days. Publish. I wasn't scheduling. I was hitting publish right at 8 a.m. It was like, I just finished up there.
We grew so much. I did anyway. I mean, just repetitively making something. There were a couple of ruts that I fell into just creatively making that same thing over and over and over. You kind of find a format and you feel like you're just copy pasting. So there was a couple of times like that, but for the most part, I think we grew so much creatively, pushing one another to like. I think one of us did lightning bolts out of our hand, or you did lightning bolts or something like that coming around. And so I wanted to do lightning bolts like Force style out of my hands.
Yep.
Researching all of that, trying to figure out how to do it. We learned about masking and transitions, and anyway, just to keep it lively and entertaining. That was fun. We grew a lot.
It was, yeah. There was a lot of growth in our editing. A lot of growth in just our overall thinking of what it was like, what we wanted to do, how we wanted to do it. And we found a lot of our style that I think really started to come out and stand out a little bit more, where it's like, I like this type of stuff, and this is what I want to do more of. So yeah, I really enjoyed both of them, even though they were hard. But in going into season 2, you and I had already been discussing what if we tried some expansion to the Vlogpaster series, or even some possible spin-offs. And I had asked around to a few to try to test the waters to see who other pastors that I knew would be interested in doing something. And it was kind of a little bit of a mixed review. This would have been prior to us launching season 2. But then once we got into season 2, all of a sudden the messages started coming and people were like, hey, if you do another season, I want to be a part of it. How do we become a part of this type of deal? And then we had a little micro season in there, like a mini season, a season within a season was 2.1.
That was my favorite. That was my personal favorite by far. I know we made some good videos elsewhere, but that was fun.
And I think that was a completely different
Yeah.
thing, because that was you and I. We went out to Vegas for Grow with Video Live, so we met up with each other, and we're there, 2-3 days, whatever it was, and we're just hanging out together. So it wasn't just what we put on camera. There was so much that you guys didn't see on camera that was, it was just fun, and it was helpful. So the whole thing, it's hard to separate the videos from the entire weekend. And that was the thing that I really enjoyed out of that as well. I'm right there with you. It was a blast. And part of me was hoping that they were doing it again live this year, because that would have been fun to try to do it again. But pandemic.
Details.
But even then, that was a different thing for me, at least, because we recorded all of those, went back home, and then we had basically said, we're going to do 3 different daily videos. So day 1, day 2, day 3, and we're going to release those at the same time. And then it was just, but we didn't say on this date. So it was you and I going back and forth, making sure, okay, are you going to be able to do it by this date? Am I going to be able to do it by this date? Because we wanted to kind of set it up in a preview of a previous video. That was different for me, because that was the first time that I had recorded a bunch of footage ahead of time that I knew I had to actually put into a video. I had a few other times that I have done that, went on trips, or
it was a mountain, wasn't it?
Oh man. And what was I thinking? I had, I think, 4 different cameras with me. I had my Canon M50, I had my Osmo Pocket, I had my GoPro, and I had my smartphone. And so then to come back and take all that footage off of it, put it into separate folders, watch through all of those, categorize them by days, because there were a couple things that I recorded on different days that were actually for previous days, because we got so busy that I forgot to do it. So it wasn't like I could just say, oh, here's the timestamp on the date in my file, and I can just, no, it didn't work that way. So it was trying to figure all that out. And then the editing process. However, dude, we did some crazy things with that, stepping up the game. It was it was fun.
My favorite one that stands out to me is it just kind of happened. We didn't even have to talk to one another. It wasn't pre-coordinated, but I'm walking up and I've got back in the day when this was new, I'm walking up and I've got my vlog cam set up going on, and we're getting ready to go in, and I'm kind of introducing. It's the introduction thing of where I am, what's going on. And I give the camera to Joshua as I'm walking by, and he didn't even, I think he's sipping a cup of coffee, and he grabs it and just swings it around, like waves at the camera. Anyway, it was go back and watch it. I don't remember what the name of the episode was, but pretty cool.
And we had a few different things like that where it was cool. And like, okay, so my brother will get this when it comes to wrestling. In professional wrestling, when you have a partnership, like a tag partner, that you guys just gel so well, you know what the other guy is thinking before he even does it. So you're automatically in the right spot and you're ready for it. And sometimes you know what he's not even thinking, and you're already a step ahead of him to make it.
To give an example of that, it's in our intro. We're walking to the tram or whatever it is, that little train thing. We're going somewhere up the strip, and I'm in the video. I'm talking. I'm trying to think through what I'm saying to the folks, and getting ready to wrap it up. I don't even remember my outro at the time. It was like, I don't remember. We're out or something like that. And anyway, I'm setting it up, and over my shoulder, you threw your hat, and it lands on the camera at the same time, and that blew my mind. I'm like, I mean, I get it. We do the same outro every time, but I wasn't even in it. That's just kind of like one of those, hey, my partner had my back before we even knew we were doing it. Hey, just cool, man.
Yeah, and that's just because I had watched so many of your vlogs up to that point that I saw you, and you'd always do that whatever, and then the hat. And you'd bring the hat, and that's how you covered the screen to go to the black screen into your outro. And I saw it so much, and I heard you're going into your outro. And then it was like instinctively, without even thinking, I just grabbed my hat and I just tossed it towards your camera. And it's just perfect. That was a one take. There was no redo. I hit it, and your face afterwards was like, what
Yeah.
did you just do?
I was pretty surprised.
Yeah. But then to see, because I had forgot about that until you actually, I think you got home and you said, hey, I watched that clip and that was perfect. So then I was looking forward to it because I'm like, oh, this is going to be so good. But those are the things that I think some of these collaborations that we've done with the Vlog Pastors has been huge in our friendship, but also the growth in what we're doing as video creators, content creators, Christian creatives, put whatever label you want on there. It has pushed us in a way to grow and develop and hone those skills that, I mean, ultimately our goals are obviously to point people to Christ and to show them God's goodness, to help them walk and live by faith. And because of that, now all of a sudden we've got this unique skill set that it continues to improve and it continues to develop.
What's interesting for me about all of this is I even had to give you a phone call this week, or I think you called me just to check it in. But you would think that by now, being the OGs of vlog pastors, that it's just nothing to us. We just grab the camera, fire it up. But there's something about having five new pastors involved, and these guys aren't slouches at all.
Yeah.
We're rooting for them. Want them to have exposure, want them to be a part of the thing. We vetted every last one of them, but it's like there's a pressure now. It's like, well, I don't want to make a bad vlog, just one of those normal Jarrod
Right.
castaway vlogs. There's a little bit of pressure on it, and so I got all caught up in that this week. I'm like, I can't. Why am I vlogging? The question this week, if you haven't been following along, is why do you vlog, or why do you still vlog?
Yeah.
And I've been struggling hard with it because it's like, these guys aren't slouches, and they have real meat and potatoes. And it's like, well, I gotta up the game. I gotta make a. Anyway, got all up in my head and had to have Joshua call me and talk me off a cliff. Like, you're not quitting YouTube. Calm down. Calm down. No, you vlog for a reason. What?
Yeah. Well, and one of the things about that, and this is where I have a very heavy competitive streak inside me. And I have to watch myself because, like I said, I don't want to be competition. Like if I were to separate my spiritual man by my natural man, my spiritual man does not want to be competitive. My spiritual man wants to be complementary, wants to be collaborative, wants to push people to be better than what they can be. Not to say that they're bad, but everybody can be better. And so I want to encourage and push people to just be the best they can be. The natural man, I want to compete with everybody, and I want to show everybody that I am the man, the myth, the legend. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. That's the natural me. So getting ready to do this vlog and start Vlog Pastor Season 3, and here's the hard part. I'm setting the tone. I'm coming right out the gate because I did Saturday to kind of explain it, and then we're going Sunday through Saturday with the questions. And so Sundays, I answer the question. Mondays, Dennis Poulette's answering the question. Tuesday, Clint Zeller's answering the question. Wednesday, Ken Neither's answering the question. Thursday, Trey Van Camp. Friday, Chase Jones. Saturday, the Jarrod Brown. And because of that, it's like, this is the question. I get to set the tone right here. And the competitive starts to rise up, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to throw so many tricks in here. I'm going to blow these guys' minds, and they're going to have to say, the bar is all the way up there. And that was what I wanted. And then I was like, no, here's what I need to do.
Well, if any of the guys are watching, being of the opposite personality, hey, it's okay.
Yeah,
the bar's high. The bar's high for a reason, and in the moment, it can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yep.
But it's meant to, like you said in the first part, it's meant to challenge and grow. But be careful. There is, if you need, reach out to us, because that's the part about this relationship is like, man, if I need something, or I got discouraged, or I started believing some sort of demonic lie that I need to quit YouTube because my stuff isn't good, my stuff isn't as good as everybody else's, I can call and say, hey, what's the truth here?
Yeah, yeah.
and have a friend speak into it. So if you guys need anything, call, holler.
Yep. Yep, for sure. And I was able to really kind of dial back, recognize where that motive was coming from, that wasn't a good spiritual motive, and that I was just trying to show off. And it was like, no. Can I do all those things? Yeah. Would it have been fun to watch? Absolutely. But it could have, not to say it would have, but it could have put a little more pressure on the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
And it would have been the wrong type of pressure. It would have been a pressure that I didn't want them. So it was like, okay, there were a few of those tricks that I was planning on doing, and I was like, nope, we're going to dial this back. I'm not doing it yet. So it was like, we're going to wait just a little bit, and then I'll put that in there. And part of that was me wanting to see, I really wanted to see where the other guys were at in their creativity first and foremost. And then, all right, now let's go. But the other thing I also realize is that my styling is not the same as everybody's styling. Yep. And because of that, I also wanted everybody to get their video out there in what I would consider their normal or usual style. So that way, a lot of the audience is going to be checking out these guys for the first time ever. I mean, yeah, for the first time, like I ran an errand with my mom yesterday, and she said, I was watching Clint's video, and she's like, Clint is really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And she's like, I really like that. And I was like, yeah, it is. And even like, I think Dustin, he had sent me a message, I think on Monday, and he's like, so where's Dennis at? You know, because Dennis uploaded later in the day. And it's like, where's he at? Where's he at? But Dennis has this unique style, which, by the way, everybody's video has been good. Everybody's video has been good. And even my mom had said that, honestly, her favorite, which, Ken, if you're listening, your video is the favorite so far for my mom. She likes yours better than mine. There you go. Just so you know.
Dude, I love Deb. She comes straight at you.
She does. And it was so good. And I won't disagree. He had a great, phenomenal story in there. And then, I mean, we've got the rest of the guys coming up, and Trey Van Camp commenting right now, I'm about to upload mine. But he can't connect to the playlist somehow. All right, Trey, you're doing it's the exact same thing. Ken actually had this the other day. He had an issue, but then all of a sudden it worked itself out. So I think there's a small YouTube glitch. So it may not work right away, but it will catch. And by the way, Trey, once you have it uploaded, send me a message and I'll add it to it if you can't add it to it. But we've got this playlist of everybody, you know, that we're all adding these, because season 3 was kind of our concept coming out of season 2 into and out of season 2. We wanted to add more guys in. Yeah. We wanted it to be a little bit better.
Since early on, we've always wanted to kind of up the ante a little bit. Yeah. You don't want to do this all by yourself. The biggest part, which we've been saying time and time again, is the friendship. Yeah. And a lot of these guys are really cool dudes. We've seen some of their videos, are really cool guys. The only person I haven't seen quite enough of yet is Ken. And so I haven't even seen his video from yesterday. That was a bad day on me yesterday. Yeah, Ken. Anyway, but just the friendships that are developed and the audiences that can be reached, and this message that God is using this medium to communicate with people. And unfortunately, spoiler alert, he's still using vlogs and vlog masters to share his message.
Yep, absolutely. And with us wanting to continue to expand that, not wanting to just, do it all on our own type of a deal, it led us to then looking at this season and how do we do that, keeping in the struggles that we had in the previous seasons of doing dailies.
You guys are welcome.
Yeah, this is
a different animal.
This is definitely a different animal.
Although I saw Clint he's doing daily by himself anyway, and this with us.
Right.
Crazy pants.
Yeah. Now, what do you think of the format that we're doing, where we are asking one question and then having 7 of us answer? What are your thoughts on that? Because you and I kind of talked about this.
Yeah, so far, I mean, it's interesting because we are getting to see other people's styles, and they're doing it natively in their format. I like that. What I think we're missing out on is a little bit of the overlap and the conversation that's had behind the scenes, because things are coming so quickly. There's so much time. I've got another week. Like, I've got a video coming out on Saturday. I've gotten to see you guys. I get to put the finishing touches on mine to kind of, I could use your clips and things like,
Yeah.
I've got time to work on it. Whereas in the past, I think part of what built the fun and the camaraderie is the speed and the overwhelming nature of every day coming at you. Here comes a new question. I think I think the guys are missing out on that element. I haven't had back and forth conversations with some of the guys, basically any of the guys really, outside of group text, floating coffee hand, that you're sending out to keep us up to date on what's going on. So I do miss that. I think we're missing that element. I don't know how to build that in at the start. I think that kind of is what it is. And all these guys are busy. I don't know that they would necessarily volunteer for that. That would be a huge pill to swallow. And I don't even know how you change that. But that is what I'm missing from this time around. We are still coordinating and talking and how so and so doing, catching up on that sort of thing. But as far as each pastor being connected.
Yeah, that's the one layer that it would be. It's difficult for us to do that in this format. It's very difficult to. I mean,
well, we couldn't, because if we did one pastor ask the next one, we would have to can and script out what they were saying. We didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
we didn't want to pry in too much, and we couldn't guarantee that one of the pastors didn't get miffed from time, or like each person gets the same question every time. It was a logistical nightmare.
Right.
Say Josh gets upset with who comes after you, Dennis.
Yep. You
get upset with Dennis, or you have a question that Dennis isn't wanting to answer, or ready to answer, and then he has to come up with something and ask. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, it would have been, like you say, a logistical nightmare. I don't know how we could have done that, and not to say we didn't think about how to do that. We thought several ways of how to do that. And I don't know if season 3, I mean, we're 5-6 days into it so far. 6 days into it, and I think 5 pastors, once Trey gets his uploaded, that will be in on this. So we've still got you and Chase to come. I don't think we're going to have a full grasp of how well things are going until about week 3.
That's so true.
And that's usually in the past when we've looked at it about the 3rd week in that we're like, okay, what about season 4? What does that look like? Now, that being said, I'm already thinking about season 4 because honestly, here's this comment that came in. This is actually from Eliana. She says, I liked the Christmas vlogs. So I did Vlogmas December of 2018. But I didn't do Vlogmas alone, even though I did Vlogmas alone. So I did Vlogmas on my channel all by myself. It was just me. But if you go back a month prior, it might have even been just a couple weeks prior to Vlogmas, I met up with Trey Van Camp down in St. Joseph, Missouri. And Trey and I talked, and we both basically agreed we're going to do Vlogmas, which meant we were going to vlog every day from December 1st through Christmas. But it wasn't going to be collaborative. It was just going to be on our own channels. But knowing there was somebody else doing the same thing at the same time was that encouragement. And that is what kind of ultimately started to get my wheels spinning of what can I do? Because I would like to do some type of a collab that was a little bit longer, a little bit extensive, not just the one video here, the one video there. And then I remember you and I were sitting there in, I think, one of our live streams, and we were just talking about, somehow it came out about you and I, the back and forth. If we were to do something, it would kind of be like, the Vlog Brothers, or rather the Vlog Pastors. And then it was like, ooh, this could be something. And so that's what led to April.
Well,
so
hang on. Full credit for that entire idea, not the entirety of it, because it's been tweaked over the years, but actually came from the Bogan Preacher. Actually came from Doug. He's the originator of that. He was saying. He was saying one time we were chatting. He's like, "Man, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if instead of a vlog, or instead of a Vlogbrothers type of format, somebody came up with something faith based and took it that type of spin on it, and was like, oh, vlog pastors type of deal."
Yeah.
So the origination point of that is with the Bogan
Doug,
Preacher,
the Bogan
and I
Preacher.
have been fighting to get him in the running on this show for 2 seasons now, or 2 evolutions of discussion about this thing. Doug, man, he doesn't vlog so much anymore. He does live stream and that sort of thing. He's consistent on his live stream. He's just not on his vlogging.
And I think that's the other thing, because there are some other pastors that we've talked about. Like, I think when we were narrowing the list down to the 7, I mean, really we just had to select 5 others, because you and I, we're grandfathered in. We're not going anywhere unless one of us just goes no vlogs ever again, and then we're just going to basically remove ourselves from that type of, because we'd have to rename it at that point. But that's the thing, like with Doug and with a couple of the other pastors that I know, I want them in there, and they can vlog, and I've seen their vlogs, but they're not currently vlogging. And even some of the guys that we've got in here, there's a mix. And so it's not like they do all vlogs, but they still consistently bring in a vlog on a regular basis that you can look back and you can see that. And so because of that, that's where it's like, as long as they've got that, are they creating consistent content? Are they vlogging currently? And are they encouraging? Those are kind of the 3 criteria, with the overall being, do they believe that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior? Do they preach his death, burial, and resurrection? If they believe in that, the core tenet, okay, these are the 3 that we're looking at. And that kind of led us to these 5 that we've got. And we've got a list of more. So we've got a list of other guys going in.
We've even talked about breakout in different countries.
Yeah. Having a specific country edition, a spinoff, because we talked about this as like, different television series. I think one of them we looked at was like, think about it like NCIS, or CSI. You've got CSI Miami, there's CSI New York, there's CSI FBI. I don't know. There's like 15 different spinoffs. And so looking at it in those type of spinoffs, finding somebody that can do it and gets the format, and then maybe have a Vlog Pastors Youth Edition.
And that's kind of always been the goal, is to start some things, do a high quality CSI, and then have it spin off into different sections. Not necessarily it being us doing it or under our control or anything, but there being a cross collaboration of, this is my alarm clock reminding us that we're almost done, or I need to be almost done.
Nice.
Anyway, a cross collaboration, and I wanted to ask this, and I don't know if anybody knows, because I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube these days, but is anybody doing a 7-channel cross collaboration on the same topics? I don't know of any. I mean, I've seen Mr. Beast and all of them. They did the tree planting thing where they all kind of got on board for a similar project. But is anybody doing ongoing content around one?
I have not seen an ongoing type of a deal like this. Period. There are some like MCNs, multi-channel networks, that are out there, and they have some of that where there's a group of different vloggers that kind of come together, or not even vloggers, but different YouTubers that come together, but it's like a separate channel that they run with all of them coming in. I've not seen one that it is these 7 channels and they're bouncing back and forth between each other, promoting each other, but yet all with a similar theme running through it. I haven't seen it. And I watch probably too much YouTube. And I have seen multi-channel collaborations like that. However, it's usually event driven. Mm-hmm. So like Sony Camp, when Sony's releasing there and they do Sony Camp, you have, 30 different creators that are coming in, and it's all about the new Sony camera, the new A6600 that's going to be released. And then you've got all these guys taking that opportunity to collab with each other and go check them out. But it's like an event. It's a one-off thing. It doesn't last an entire month. And then I've seen others that they will have 30, 40, 50 channels that are all kind of feeding content into one channel. But I haven't seen it like this. It's unique.
I think it's very special.
Yeah.
I think it's really special. I don't know that you could get. I mean, we're at seven channels saying, yeah, let's do this. Let's commit to this. Let's do it well.
I don't know. I've thought, how do we expand? Because I'm literally right now thinking about and looking at season 4. And what does that look like? Because I am going to do something in December for Vlogmas. I just don't know what that looks like yet. And so I know I'm planning on doing it. And when I first think of Veda, Vlogust, and Vlogmas, I'm instantly thinking Vlogpastors. And that's my first reaction. And then it's trying to figure out how that does it. And I still think we're in the early stages of this type of a collaboration, where we're figuring out what format really fits and what works. So I don't know, because I think there's something like you said earlier, the spontaneity of not knowing what's coming and then just reacting to it. I think that's huge. And I think it's easy to come up with content. It allows some extra creativity on the fly. It allows a little bit more pressure. But the downside of it is so hard when you add multiple parts in it. So I'm not quite sure where the balance is, which, by the way...
Maybe we'll know by the end of this season.
Yeah. So it's like, maybe we'll have an idea. By the way, while we're talking about season 3, Trey Van Camp just uploaded his. We are getting ready to wrap this up. So once we do, go over and check out his video. It is going to be so good. And Trey, I am getting ready to add yours to it. So I'll get that uploaded on the playlist. One of those, here's just a couple questions I want to get to as well, because we had a few different ones in here. Trey he had said, I'm thankful for this week's question because it made me super introspective. Man, you and your $10 words. As a 7, he's talking Enneagram because that's what he does. I don't do that often. Laugh out loud. It was crazy. Jared and I were talking about this the other night. This question, he and I came up with this question. And I think we actually answered this question in one of the previous seasons too.
Yep.
But now we're like, oh, we should do this. And if anybody's answered it, well, why do you still do it? And yet it's one of the hardest things for us to answer.
That has been, I won't spoil it for my video, but that has been one of the hardest questions I've had to answer in a while. It's tough.
Yeah. It's been crazy for sure. It has been, it's been interesting. But anyways, I'm multitasking at the moment.
Yeah, Jeff. Well, I won't go too far into it, but it's been tough peeling back the layers and realizing like what I really think about this currently. I know why I started, but now dealing with, okay, why do you still do it? And the realities of certain reasons that needed to fall away and certain reasons that have galvanized me for the future. So anyway, I hear you, Trey. It's a lot of introspection this week. Thus the phone call with Joshua to go, quit. For real.
It was, yeah. It's been good. And it's also been good. Like the one that got me is Clint wound up explaining why I vlog in a better way than I could even explain why I vlog. He summarized what it was that I did. And it was like this quote that I loved. I pulled it out and of course I had to tweet it right away. He said, a relationship with God isn't just about learning more Bible. It's about living on earth as it is in heaven. Mm-hmm. And that type of, when I saw that, I'm like, that's what I've been trying to say. And I just can't. I mean, I was saying that, but I didn't use 30 words to do it. I used 3,000 words to do it. It was all of this. So, yeah, it was good stuff. Sonic Grace hopping in as well. And he said, is a live a vlog? And this would be something that, like,
I'm addressing it in my video this week. What actually is a vlog? What constitutes a vlog?
Okay. And that's good, because this is a discussion we've had back and forth. And I think Dennis even kind of touched on this briefly. Dennis is OG. Like, Dennis is OG. Before YouTube, he was making videos, making vlogs, making a video blog, and uploading it to the internet. So Dennis has got some skills in there, and I love the perspective that he was talking about a video blog. And yes. Now, to me, this is where I will start to disagree with people on this, and I'm going to say this before I even know what Jarrod's saying, and I don't really care. But me, it then comes, okay, video is self-explanatory. It's not audio, it's video. But what is a blog? And when I go back to the old original blogs, it was more of a daily journal entry that they were doing, documenting something. However, that evolved into a commentary and more of a news and more of reporting and giving thoughts on certain things. And it deviated away from the origination of it just being these journal entries. And that was at the origination of what blogging was. So when I think of a vlog, I think of a video blog like the original journaling type of a deal, showing the life while giving some thoughts on that life you're experiencing. However, I think it has kind of evolved over, and there have been people that have swung to the point of now a vlog is commenting on something, and it can be here. So I look at vlog more than just what is being said, but it's the style in which it's being said. And so that's what I look at. So could a vlog be a talking head video just sitting here? Technically, yes. Could a vlog be a live stream? Technically, yes. But it's Vlogpastors. We run it and we define it. And so I'm looking not only to what, but how. And that's the thing, like with the Vlogpastors, is it's the style. I want it to be something that is more than just a talking head. Talking head portions are obviously in there, but and you can do one in just a studio. I think actually the one I did, I don't even know if I went out of the studio. I think it was all in the studio the whole time.
One of them you were out.
Yeah, one of them I was out, but I think another one I just recorded all in studio, but it was multiple different angles from the studio. It was while I was doing other things. So I'm showing my life. I'm showing how I'm picking up and cleaning and things like that. So it's a style, not just the substance. Ooh, yep. Ooh, alliteration for the win. So,
yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I wouldn't change anything. When I come to thinking about vlogging, I do tend to think of the Casey Neistat, but it's because Casey Neistat defined the space. Like you said, a vlog looks like out and about, running around type of thing. But technically, it's not. It's just an update video. A frequency doesn't matter. It's just a consistent update, whatever consistent is.
Yeah.
Of your life.
Yep. I would agree on the technical aspect. That's it. But like I said, hey, look, you see that right there? It says Vlogpastors. That what we be. We started the Vlogpaster season. We continue the Vlogpaster season. We define the Vlogpaster season. So you know what?
Careful there.
You got to have the style.
I love it.
So, and if somebody doesn't like it and they want to do a whole talking head Vlogpasters, well, by all means, run with it.
By all means, exactly.
Good Have luck. Fun, run with it. You just may not get my blessing.
As the grandpappy of them Vlogpastors, I says. Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right. Hey, guys, this has been a fun one. It's been a great chat. As always, if you have any topics that you want the Vlogpastors to discuss, feel free to let us know in the comments. You can also reach out to Jarrod and I on Instagram. Check him out at bite of Brownie Productions, or you can check me out over there on IG at Joshua Verwers. I am also extremely active on Twitter recently, and that's at Joshua Verwers. Just be warned, there is lots of random nonsense because I can.
There you go.
So
That's all you need.
That's all we got for you guys. So stay blessed. Enjoy God's best.
Love you guys.
We're out.